Why does some people hate interracial babies? Why does interracial babies piss people off? Why is the idea of mixing, right, with other races such a horrific thing for some people? It's because they keep trying to push this lie that for whatever reason, probably because of power, 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, that some subset of people are not people. They're not human. And in order for them to keep pushing that lie, right, when it comes to interracial relationships and interracial babies, they get extremely pissed off. Okay, so here's the thing. Tigers can't mate with cats, right? Wolves and dogs can mate and they make, a wolf dog, right? But there's some subsets of species that even though they're in the family kind of like tree together, it doesn't necessarily work, right? The only subsets of species that can actually mate with each other are the ones that has a closer genetic tie to one another than others can, right? Like the idea that cows and whales are technically a part of the same family tree, technically speaking, but they're so distantly apart that they can't mate with each other. Some whites believe that blacks may be human, maybe even a familiar species on the human tree, but we're so far apart genetically speaking that we, like cows and whales, can't mate. And so when interracial babies are made, that destroys the whole entire argument, because obviously we can easily mate with each other. And there is no genetic problems that occurs if we was to do so. It's not like a liger where it's like, you got to keep rolling the dice until you actually get a nice looking one. No, it's we make the baby and it's perfectly healthy and fine. This is why interracial babies and interracial relationships scares the living crap out of racists. Because it breaks down the idea that they've been forming in their head for many, many years, that we're not human. When in fact, we are very human. And in fact, we are so closely genetically tied to each other that we can continue to reproduce and will be completely fine. That scares the crap out of a racist.